One of New York's younger fashion houses, Pauline Trigier, has become a leader in American fashion with distinctive silhouettes like these. She's won 2 Coty American Fashion Critics Awards, the Neiman Marcus Award, and herself was named among the country's best-dressed women this year. She received her early training in her native Paris, although she maintains that she is strictly an American designer. Good evening, Miss Trigier, and welcome tonight.
Evening.
You sound almost husky.
I am.
Oh, I'm very sorry. We've just seen 2 silhouettes, 2 of the shapes of your dresses, yet they look alike. Do dresses by Trigier have any distinctive features?
Well, I hope so. Actually, the one you saw on the right of the screen, the one with the longer blouse, how could I explain it? It's a dress from 1956. It's one of our older dresses.
Mm-hmm.
And the one to the left is the new silhouette. Actually, the little bolero removes itself and you have a dinner dress underneath. We call it the meringue, you know, good enough to eat.
Mm-hmm.
The other one we called the bird cage. We made it 2 years ago. And it belongs to me, as a matter of fact, that dress. I keep my clothes, love to look at them for, well, shall I say, a dictionary kind of a thing, you know, go back to what you've done and see what's been good.
But you do have certain distinctive features which mark the Trigier dress. Now, is this true of all designers? That regardless, you know, of a certain difference with...
Yes, I think that every designer's name has something that characterizes their styles. I mean, today we know that a Trigier dress is a Trigier dress. We have many customers who come to us and say, well, I've known this was a Trigier just looking at it on the hanger.
Mm-hmm.
That comes after many years of working and study. The Trigier labels means a Trigier dress. It has a simplicity of line, simplicity of cut. That's what I say, not what my pattern makers say. They say it's very complicated to make a Trigier dress, but it has a stamp. I try to, how could I say that? You know, my English isn't too good, and
you're doing very well.
Thank you very much. We have people who say, when you see a Trigier, because I cannot say why, I work always in the same spirit. I try a collection in the same way always. When I start something, it has the same beginning. It's hard to explain, you know, you have to see it working.
Now, shall we get down to brass tacks or bulging waistlines? I've heard it time and time again, and a number of women have written demanding that we ask you this question. The old complaint. It looks wonderful on the model, but what about me? I'm not a size 10. Is it true, as many women feel, and time again they say it, that you design for the perfect figure, but forget about the size 16 or 18, which many women are?
I don't think that's true at all.
But how can it be denied?
Well, what could be true is that the woman in a size 12, 16, 14, whatever size she may be, may not find the dress that she wishes to find at the particular store she shops at that particular moment. That's very true. But actually, when I designed, certainly I couldn't run a business, and a Trigier business, in just making a dress for one size. It would be wrong. Mm-hmm. We do dresses on certain models, certainly, but even the models, we don't use the same kind of model. We use a brunette, we use a thin one, a little fatter one, a red-headed one. And when I design, certainly I have to think of what the buyers are going to say into the show.
Now, you know, Miss Trigier, many critics have taken the fashion industry strongly to task for setting unrealistic standards. They've charged that your industry, Miss Trigier, has conspired to make women want clothing which they can't afford and, what's more, don't need. How can you answer that charge?
Well, don't need, well, that's one thing. Can't afford is another. I don't say that Trigier is a particularly cheap house. We do have an expensive labor, and we do use fine fabrics, but a woman always needs something new. As a matter of fact, a woman who is well-dressed is not extravagant in dressing. She doesn't buy a dress every 5 minutes just because it's new, you know.
I thought she did, but you say she doesn't.
No, they don't, and I don't think they should. A woman shouldn't buy a dress just because, you know, she saw it in a window. She has to have a purpose.
Well, would you tell me how you keep a woman from buying a dress just because she sees it in a window?
Well, I don't know. They buy enough, thank God. But, well, it's true. Some women buy things foolishly. Mm-hmm. They don't think of what they're going to do with the dress. Do they need the dress? Is the dress going to be in the closet? Will she really wear it? I think the best proof of a good buy is when you know it yourself.
Now,
You buy a suit, you wear it, you're pleased, it doesn't matter the price you've paid.
when you make a design, what woman do you have in mind? Is she a wealthy one, perhaps from the posh section uptown who can buy your clothing, or are you concerned with the gal in the office who only may look at them and buy copies?
Well, we don't really want to say that we work only for the copiers, though we are really troubled by the copiers. But actually, I work for, I love to think that I work for the active woman who knows that she has a purpose in life. She wears a dress in the morning and then she's taking it out to lunch. She's ready with it. She doesn't have to go back home and change again. I don't think I work for the woman of leisure who has too much time on her hands.
Right,
I make functional clothes. I think I do.
I think I think we've also pinpointed the fact that it does take a little money to buy your clothes. You've made no
Yes.
bones about that. And that it must be made for a good figure. Now, taking into account both, you're a successful woman, your figure is quite obvious. Are you, by any chance, the real woman you have in mind when you design your own garments?
No, absolutely not. Then I would make so few clothes. I always wear practically the same kind of dresses. It's a fact. I mean, I change an awful lot of clothes. I've got closets full, but I don't. It would be too simple. I would love to wear everything I do. It would be very simple for me. But I don't. There are some things that I can't wear. I'm a little too short. There are some things
What can't you wear?
well, now, I don't know, maybe certain colors. I wear an awful lot of blacks and grays. I don't wear too much satin. I don't think it goes with me. I move too much, and I think it shines too much on me.
Is that because satin is thought to be slinky when it moves?
Maybe. I'm thinking now. I've never really asked myself the question, so now maybe tomorrow morning I'll make myself a satin dress just to prove to the contrary, no?
You can bring it back and show it to us, and we'll give you a
All
judgment.
right, fine.
Miss Trigier, the current rage, the sack, seems to have aroused strong opinions.
Ah, the sack.
Yes, the sack. Life magazine carried an account of Birmingham women burning sack dresses in a public bonfire. What do you think of the loose, baggy look of the sack?
Well, I tell you, I think that any fashion that's exaggerated is no good. I think a new fashion has to probably be exaggerated because this is when it's going to be taken, you know. But,
He's one of your models, as you see.
yes, I see. Well, that's a very old dress, you know, that she's showing now. But I think that anything that's too exaggerated is no good. I don't like the bags that bags. I don't like the word, as a matter of fact. I think it's unfortunate that
Well, now, what's the
that new
relationship?
silhouette
Yes.
has been called bag. Now,
Now, here comes the new, and
this
in
is
the foreground
this is our new chemise, the one that Gillis is wearing now.
Now, what's the relationship between them?
I'll show you. The dress that the young lady wore before is a dress that we have in the collections in 1954. This is now almost 4 years old. And at that time, I have made dresses looser at the waistline. They were not too-fitted. They were the beginning of the chemise of today. The one that you see now is the new scabbard silhouette. It's made all in cotton. This is as straight as I will probably ever go. I don't know. These things we never
In
know.
other words, you don't have sacks or chemise in
Well,
your
you
own
see-
wardrobe, but the scabbard look?
Yes, we don't have too many bags. I don't like the word, I told you before, because I didn't feel that at Trigier we had to change so drastically the lines. I've never made the thing too fitted. I never boned my women too much. I don't like to be uncomfortable in clothes myself, and I don't like to be squeezed into things. So for a long time we have made straighter clothes, looser waistline. We ship those dresses with belt and without belts. Now we ship them without belts. Nobody wants belts anymore.
Let's change the pace very quickly for a second, from women to men's clothing. How do you like to see a man dressed?
Well,
In, quote, Ivy League, unquote? Or do you prefer the European model, which has more of a form fit?
no, I like the American way, men dressing much better. I think it's easier, nicer, smoother. But I think that men should really vary their style a little bit, don't you? I think we have seen
Yes.
the lapel and the collar, the notch collar for so many years. But, well, maybe you should leave us the privilege of changing, and you keep to your very nice style.
All right.
Conservative.
Do you agree with critics who feel the figure of the woman has been ignored in many of the new styles, that her pertinent points are not there?
I agree in the critics when they see a dress that really leaves the woman no shape at all. Yes. I told you once before, I do not like exaggerate. I think that a woman has to remain a woman. We have a waistline, we'll have it forever, I'm sure. As long as there will be women, there will be waistline. We have busts, we have hips. It's nice to move it about a little bit, up, down, just to vary it a little bit, but to make it disappear completely, I don't like it. I don't think that's very good.
Did you go to Paris to see French designs before you start on your own collection here?
No, I go to Paris to see my friends, to go to the theater, to buy fabrics. I never see
Don't you just manage to get some of the gossip, or if not, you know, a peek even at someone you may know who has a collection?
Well, the gossip is the same always. As a matter of fact, when I leave the fashion and my fashion, I like to talk about something else, really. Mm-hmm. When you are 10 to 12 hours a day, as I am in my office, speaking of dresses and all the trouble we have with it, I really enjoy something else.
What do you like to talk about when you don't talk about fashion?
Oh, a lot of things.
What?
I don't know, book, theater, music, food, gardens. I don't know, a lot of things.
Do you think American...
I talk all the time, you can hear my voice.
Do you think American designers rely too much on Paris? You say you don't.
No, I
What about
don't
the designers in general?
Well, there are I don't happen to go to Paris when I do my collections by myself. The people who are adaptators and do a very great job in doing so are very essential to this country, because here the wholesale trade, the wholesale great industry, which is New York, is fantastic for the American women. We have adapted here the French fashion much quicker than they know it over there. The minute it comes out of a French house, it's already on 7th Avenue. I'm talking for the adaptator. I don't really bother with it.
Now, is there a certain amount of piracy involved in this?
I don't think so. I think the people who go to Paris buy the models. I don't know exactly how it goes. They go and buy, and I suppose they reproduce it.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think styles catch on? Here or in Paris?
No, here they do, and they do because we give it an enormous kind of publicity. The newspaper are wonderful for that. Big headlines, you know, sacks, bags, shorter dress, longer dress, the explosion. It's just like Sputnik. And the women catches on. Mm-hmm. The American woman buys ready-made clothes much quicker than the French. When you know, French are couturière, and they still rely on going there and have little fittings. I suppose it's still like that. I mean, I left France many years ago, but I'm sure the country is full of little dressmakers. By the time they make you a dress, it takes, you know, a couple of weeks. Here, the minute the style is launched, it's on the market.
How much of a problem do you have with lower-priced designers copying your dresses?
We have a lot, but there's nothing we can do about it. I've been told that the day I wouldn't be copied, then I could retire. So I just hope to be copied for a long time.
All right, let's look at the permanence or impermanence of the dress the woman wears. Ms. Tregear, how long will high-fashion clothes like yours be in style? Doesn't a woman run the risk of having to buy a new wardrobe every year?
Oh, I hope not. It will be wrong. Now, look at the coat that Joanne is wearing now. It's been lent to me by a friend of mine. This coat is in 1950. And it's been worn, and worn a lot.
Is it all right to wear it still?
I think so. I think it looks very good.
Well, what happens to the...
Well, you see, when...
To the girls who buy sacks this year, the really loose, baggy ones, if the sack disappears in September?
Well, I don't know. Really, I think that a woman should think twice before she buys anything. If she can afford to buy the greatest new fashions, and if she doesn't like it in 3 months, throw it away, it's fine. If she can't, then I think she should look at herself twice and buy what she thinks she will like in 3 months. It's very difficult to know what we will... You see, even for me to speak about bags or even those past silhouettes, it's very hard. We work now on a fall collection. I don't think about bags. We are shipping summer clothes right now, but I work on a fall collection. We will be showing that in about 6 weeks.
Another charge, Pauline Tregear, frequently made about the fashion designer is that he or she is really a dictator, that the designer makes clothing for himself or for herself and the public can't do anything about it. How do you answer?
No, I don't believe that. As a matter of fact, we made 2 years ago the dress that we are showing. I don't know if you can see it now.
Yes,
We
yes. I
called
want to
it-
ask you, have you anticipated a fashion? Have you made a dress which is revolutionary and the public doesn't buy it?
We did.
How much of a gamble do you take?
We take it because I like to make it. We take it. And sometimes I feel very bad if it isn't accepted, but there's nothing I can do. If the buyer is not going to buy it, and if the consumer is not going to buy it, then we have no luck. So
Is this the example?
this is one example. This was, as a matter of fact, on the cover of the New York Times. It was new enough to be, it's my own dress. It's a little big on the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Would you remove the jacket? Can you hear me? I did this we called the bird cage. It was, I would say, an avant-garde of the loose back silhouette. We sold very few. It didn't take. There was nothing I could do. I kept it. I'm glad I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's a forerunner of what we see today. But to force it on the throat of buyers who don't want to wear it, that's impossible.
So by that, you refute the charge, then, that designers design for themselves and to heck with the public. In other words, you'll
What do
take
you
a
do?
chance on a gamble that
Excuse
doesn't
me,
pay off.
John, what do you do about the men designer? They don't design for themselves, they design for women. That your remark will only apply to women designers. I've been accused sometimes to make a dress that I would only be able to wear myself. Well, maybe I like the dress, it's possible, but I really do not design for myself. I have too many projects in mind, too many women that I know would look in certain dresses, and I like to please them, and I'm trying to.
Let's go to something entirely different. You said you'd like to talk about cooking, and we understand you're a fine cook.
I like to eat, don't you?
Yes, sure. Guest recently said I hadn't had enough to eat in a long time.
Well, you look very thin.
Well, perhaps you can help me. What do you make when you get home? And do you
Oh.
do it by yourself? Do you invite friends in? How do you go about it?
Sure, I invite friends, naturally. I very seldom cook just for myself.
Well, you can invite
I'm-
friends, or you can invite one friend.
When would you like to come for dinner?
You name it.
Now, well, we'll discuss it
All
after I
right.
look at my book. Well, I like to cook because it relaxes me. I don't cook very much, and not every day because I come late at night. But I do cook on Sunday in the country. I love that.
What do you do?
All kinds of things.
What's
I
your
never-
favorite? Does every woman have a special dish she puts on the stove and
No,
comes
I
up
just
with?
experiment. When I have a nice kitchen in the country, and I really love to do new stuff, it doesn't matter really. I'll cook anything. I like a leg of lamb. I make a good salad. I can stuff some birds. I just made a quiche Lorraine. I don't know. I try.
Quiche Lorraine is pretty difficult.
Everything is difficult, but nothing is difficult if you really want to try and do it.
Is gaining weight a problem for you? You said you love to eat.
Yes, it certainly is a problem for me.
May I say it's a problem you've obviously conquered?
Well, one day I think that we'll be able to conquer that completely. I dream of the day, maybe in, I don't know, 50 years, I won't be here to see it, when the women will all be one size, we won't have any problem of sizing the clothes. No, it is a problem.
How do
I
you fight
gain
it?
weight all
How
the
do you
time.
fight it?
The weight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, after a weekend where I ate a lot, I just eat 6 eggs in one day, and I gain the second day if I didn't lose
6
enough.
eggs in one day?
Yeah, 2 in the morning, 2 at lunch, and 2 at night.
Do you
That's
boil
it.
them?
Well, sure, I don't eat them raw. I boil them, I fry them.
Well, why
anything.
not eat them raw? You get the same advantages.
I don't like them raw.
from
I
the
like
chicken.
them raw only when they come out, fresh from the farm. But
Have you considered you run any risk in going on such a slight diet, 6 eggs a day for
no,
2 or
because
3
I don't do
days?
it for more than 2 days. It doesn't bother me.
How much can you take off in 2 days by that system?
2 pounds?
A day?
No, altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I know when I gain weight, so I just stop eating and I stop drinking, whatever I drink, which is very little.
Mm-hmm. What do you
And I
like,
go on.
champagne?
Yes, scotch.
You scotch?
Yes.
You know, I wonder, do economic conditions influence fashion? To go back to that for a moment, and the kind of styles we see. Some have said that we had padded shoulders in the 40s because women were called on to do men's jobs.
I never heard that. It seems very interesting. Maybe it's true.
Do you think it might be?
Maybe it is. I don't know. They were very padded. Thank heavens we don't pad them anymore. You see, if a designer like myself, who do use very fine and expensive fabrics, seems to think too much about economical condition, you would never make a line. You can't possibly design properly in making pretty things in thinking that nobody's going to buy it. You can't do that. You've got to design with great gusto and great love. and use the material as you wish to use it. If you're going to think that it's going to be expensive, then forget about it, you know.
Mr. Trigger, do you think the clothes worn by a woman will reveal part of that woman's personality?
It should.
How?
Well, it's a difficult question to answer. I think a woman should buy clothes that suits her. That's the first thing she should do about selecting clothes. A fashion magazine is just wonderful, but a woman shouldn't just look at a magazine and say, that's fine, I'm going to go and buy that.
Mm-hmm.
If it isn't her style, she shouldn't go and get it. She should first study herself. First of all, can she afford it? Secondly, is she too little, too big, too fat? Thirdly, is she the tailor type? Then don't buy frill.
Mm-hmm.
If she's not the tailor type, then be feminine. Once you have defined your type, then half of the battle is gained. It's difficult. Once you have done that, I think you can get dressed better. You buy fewer clothes, buy better clothes, and wear them with pleasure.
I wonder
Each
if there's one dress you can show us that is Trigger, that shows everything you've talked about tonight.
Well, that's very difficult to show in one dress. I think that we could show you an ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
We have a certain notoriety for coats, and I will show you a tweed outfit that we made 2 years ago, which was an avant-garde also of a new silhouette. It's very straight. It's made out of very, very light tweed, and it has something that I like. It's a two-in-one kind of a coat.
Mm-hmm.
You wear it black, as the girl wears it now, and it's completely reversible.
You take it off and what?
You take it off, you see what happens, and she turns and she has a travel outfit
Mm-hmm.
with a skirt to match and a sweater. I love it because the woman can wear a blouse, she can change it. Here she's coming down the plane, and later on at a 5 o'clock cocktail date, she turns the coat on the black side, and she's ready.
Mm-hmm.
I think the coat has shown you all the good tailoring of Trigger. You couldn't show that on television, but it's thin, it's fine, and it's 1956, I guess. It's 2 years old and it's still good today.
Still good. One last question, Pauline Trigger. Have you ever worn clothes by another designer?
Since I designed clothes, no.
How long has that been?
A long time ago. No, why should I, really?
For experimentation.
Oh, yes. Well, I have no time to shop. I'm not a shopper, so I find it easier to wear my own clothes and have them fitted on me and wear them the way I like them. Do you think it's wrong?
No. I don't think it's wrong for you to wear your own product for a second. I just thought maybe, you've gone... Well, do designers do things like women from department stores? They don't do comparison shopping and things like that?
Yes, I think that exists. I just don't do it. I don't go to stores, and I don't have the time. I shop by telephone.
Thank you very much for being our guest on Night Beat tonight, Pauline Trigger, and thanks also for a look at some of the fashions you've created.